Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, March 9th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Byron Stock. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, Prince George's police are mourning the loss of one of their own. Officer Brendan Burbank killed early Saturday morning when he lost control of his cruiser and hit a fence. Investigators say Burbank, who was off duty at the time and riding with his girlfriend, was attempting a traffic stop in Lanham on the 9500 block of Greenbelt Road. Now, police are looking for a dark-colored minivan and a white bus that were seen in the area at the time. Police are also looking for the driver of the vehicle involved in the attempted stop. Meantime, FOP President Dean Jones visited the officer's mother earlier today to present her with a check to cover funeral expenses. Jones says he met the officer a few years ago.
We swore him in as an FOP member, and I had an opportunity to meet him. We do a little class for the new officers when they come on the department. I actually took him out to view the memorial wall to show him our fallen heroes that we had of the past. So he's actually been there as well. So yes, I've met him. Was at his graduation, shook his hand when he graduated.
Now, the cause of the crash remains under investigation. Burbank's girlfriend was treated and released from the hospital. Meantime, the Beltsville man accused of shooting at cars and buildings around the metro area is denied bail by an Anne Arundel County judge. At a bond hearing today, prosecutors argued that 35-year-old Hong Young was a flight risk because police found a backpack with protein bars, toilet paper, firearms, and a passport. The judge ordered that Young's bail status change. He's charged with attempted first-degree murder for firing at a vehicle, injuring a 61-year-old man. Young faces additional charges in other jurisdictions for shootings, including shots fired near a building affiliated with a national security agency in Fort Meade.
A longtime Maryland congressman becomes the first contender to throw his hat in the ring for U.S. Senate. Today, Representative Chris Van Hollen held his first official press conference ahead of the 2016 election to announce his plans to run for outgoing Senator Barbara Mikulski's seat. Mikulski announced earlier this month that she will not seek re-election after her fifth term ends. Van Hollen is already picking up endorsements. He was in Rockville earlier this afternoon, where Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett and council members declared their support for his candidacy.
Transportation system that is multimodal.
Serving as a delegate, a state senator, a congressperson, and to do so while at the same time addressing major national issues, whether it's the environment, whether the questions of immigration, whether the question that impact our diverse community, or the things that impact veterans. He's been able to do both very well.
In a state that mirrors our national face, the demographic changes that we have seen nationally are also here in Maryland. He understands very well and has always worked very closely with all sectors of our community. The Latino community in particular is a friend of Chris Van Hollen.
If you look at my record starting in the state of Maryland, it's one of being an effective progressive, somebody who's gotten things done in the state of Maryland, which is why I've already seen such an outpouring support from the progressive leaders in the state of Maryland.
And Van Hollen was first elected to Congress in 2002 and represents Maryland's 8th District. He is currently the top Democrat on the House Budget Committee. Well, meantime, Maryland's first black congresswoman is expected to announce her bid for Barbara Mikulski's Senate seat tomorrow. Donna Edwards has support from the same national progressive organizations that helped her beat incumbent Albert Wynn in the 2008 elections. Mikulski will retire after her term is up in 2016.
School buses equipped with stop-arm cameras are proving effective when it comes to curbing risky behavior. AAA Mid-Atlantic reports that since installing cameras on some buses in the D.C. area in 2013, at least 1,500 citations have been issued to drivers for zooming past stopped buses. Now, according to the Prince George's Police, the county's 20 cameras have captured 10 violators since they were put into place in September of last year. AAA spokesman John Townsend says state lawmakers are considering legislation that would increase civil penalties from $250 to $500.
That right now, only a handful of people who've been ticketed by these cameras have even contested the tickets in court. Once you start looking at a draconian fine of $500, now this is an egregious offense, but we're trying to bring people to justice and correct and modify behavior. But if the fine is so high, then almost everyone who gets a ticket would then fight it because it's so costly. And that's what
Townsend says he thinks that the program as it stands is working, and he does not believe increasing the penalties will change driver behavior.
A group of Republican lawmakers make do on one of Governor Hogan's campaign promises. A resolution was introduced this afternoon in the House Rules Committee calling for a 4-year moratorium on increasing any existing taxes or establishing new ones.
I had submitted it as a bill, but found out that I would have to have a constitutional amendment. And I didn't want to go down that road to mess with the Constitution of the state of Maryland. And they said to me that we could do a House resolution. So we decided to file the House resolution, and now we are here today hearing in rules.
And what is it you hope to obtain with the moratorium?
Well, I hope to make sure that the House of Delegates understands that the state of Maryland is just tired of any new taxes. You know, just give us a chance of over the past 8 years, regardless if they've been good or they've been bad, regulations and taxes. Just give the small communities, give families a chance to take a breath, get used to the new normal, and then we can actually start doing some better things here in the state of Maryland.
And the joint resolution contains a fiscal comparison between Maryland and other states. According to the analysis, Maryland is one of the highest-ranking states in generating personal income tax revenue. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Byron Scott.